Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to topic 2. This is a continuation for topic 2. We are going to look at what is political philosophy. So let's us look at the definition first. All right. Number 1, political philosophy is the study of fundamental question about the state, government, politics, liberty, to what extent we can have freedom. Okay, justice. What is just? What is unjust? What is fair? What is not fair? Okay, and also enforcement of a legal code of authority. All right. Then number 2, it is ethics applied to a group of people and discuss how a society should be set up and how one should act within a society. The thing about philosophy, you cannot see, but it will affect your life a lot. I'm telling you, a lot. Okay, for example, I'll give you an example. A philosophy of this country, we do not discriminate men or women or based on race or based on religion. We do not discriminate. But there are in certain country, it's not a good thing to be a lady or to be a woman. Why? Because there are certain country, their policy is discriminating women because of their state philosophy or their government administration is discriminating women. Okay, so we do not have that, so we are lucky. There are also, last time we are going to learn whereby in the time of ancient civilization, even in the time of Roman Empire and also after the Roman Empire, we can see the social classes and they believe that's the way it should be. In other words, the philosophy at that particular moment, they believe in discrimination based on classes, based on status. All right. So philosophy, although it is intangible, something that you cannot see, but it is very important for all of you to learn and to appreciate because it will shape what kind of life that you are going to live in. All right. So philosophy talk about individual rights. Political philosophy especially talk about individual rights. What are the rights that we supposed to have? Even women's right in marriage is considered as political philosophy, although it is in family. But you need to understand that if you are being oppressed just because you are women, just because you are married, that is a state problem, not personal problem, but a state problem, because a state supposed to take care of all the citizen regardless sex, regardless race, and regardless religion and others. So basic individual rights, we have right to live. Okay, you're supposed to be alive. Nobody can take your life. All right. Number 2, property. You're supposed to have the right to own property. Number 3, you have the right to be freely to speak freely and self-defense. Okay, state explicitly requirement for a person to benefit rather than to suffer living in the society. So in the society, yes, we are living together, but there are a tendency whereby certain people suffer in society. Why? Because there are certain people likes to take advantage on others. So because of this scenario, we do have political thinkers think about how to minimize and how to stop oppression made by certain people against another weaker group. Okay. So another thing is philosophy deals with what is government. Okay, why we need government? Why are government needed? Why we need to have prime minister? Why we need to have parliament? Okay, why we need to have ministries? Okay, what makes a government legitimate? What rights and freedom should a government protect? Okay, these are the questions that being discussed, and of course until today the fluidity or the discursiveness and diversity of the discussion is still going on. and on and on. Okay, it is but the best thing is when you learn later on about the ancient civilizations and the older civilization, you will appreciate what we have now. And what we have now is democracy, compared to certain country, unfortunately, like North Korea. They have this autocratic regime. It's totally different, and we are going to learn why this is different. One of the reasons, because we do have thinkers, political thinkers earlier, and we actually learned from them and brought that idea into today's and renewed by the current political thinkers. All right, these are the 5 political thinkers that we are going to learn. There are so many. We also have Muslim political thinkers, but for this topic, because it is in, in in the introductory slide, okay, or topic. So you are going to learn these 5 basic political thinkers. Number 1, Machiavelli. Number 2, Hobbes. Number 3, Locke. Number 4, Rousseau. And number 5, Karl Marx. So who is Machiavelli? Okay, he is an Italian, okay, and a philosopher, and known in the book called The Prince. What he wrote in that book, a lot of people disagree, but it is reality. It happened until today. Okay, the book is about how to be a good leader and have political power. In other words, he said how to be a good leader when you cannot retain or protect your position. Okay, you can't be a leader, become a leader for about 3 months, suddenly other people take over. Okay, then you are not a good leader anymore. Okay, in his book, he taught powerful people to act boldly, make first priority to protect your power. First, protect the power, not to work for the people. Okay, break moral and religious principle when needed in order to protect the power, and be as strong as a lion and as sly as a fox. But the thing is, it is not that ethical, but in true reality, this is what happening. Synonymous with the devil largely because of his argument that evil means were sometimes necessary to achieve desired ends, that cruelty, terrorism, ruthlessness, use of force, treachery were all permissible, desirable on occasion, on situation. But of course, in terms of ethical, this is not right, this is wrong, but based on his observation, these are the things that happened at that particular moment, okay, in 1400 to 1500 until today. All right, if we do not have this type of leadership, all right, we will not have any misery that we have until today. So the second one in 15 to 1600, we do have Thomas Hobbes. Okay, he wrote a book called Leviathan, argued that people were naturally cruel, greedy, and selfish. For example, when we look at a photo of us in a group, we will actually focus on ourselves, how we smile, how we look like. Okay, why? Because we are naturally self-centered. Okay, this is agreed upon by a lot of political philosophers. It's okay to be self-centered because it's a natural thing. But the thing is, what we need to do is how to control it or how to contain it so that we can live together and not to oppress other people. So needed to control or they would fight, rob, or oppress each other. So in other words, we need to have law in order to minimize this poor, nasty, brutish nature of human being. All right. So he actually introduced social contract, give up freedom for an organized society. For example, like all of us, you and me, we give up freedom of sleeping longer early in the morning because we need to come to classes. Okay, I need to teach, and all of you need to attend classes. Why? Because I want to work and all of you want a degree. So because of that, because of bigger goal, we give up some of our freedom in order to actually achieve our bigger goal. All right. He also wrote a book called Two Treatises of the Government, and then argue that people need to have their natural rights, and a good government will always, always, always protect the natural rights. What are the natural rights? The right to live, the right to the right of liberty, to have freedom, and also to own property. And the best government is limited power and accepted by all citizens. So he actually proposed democracy in this sense. Then we have John Locke, 1600 to 1700. John Locke agrees with Hobbes and also say that we need the good government, a good man. The thing is, they like to say man because at this particular moment, they are also what we call indirectly discriminating women, right? So they believe in life, liberty, and the right to own property, of course, cannot be taken away by government. So when we have hukuman gantung sampai mati or punishment, death penalty, so this also being debated as breaching the right to live, okay? And government not supposed to be able to exercise the power. All legitimate power, authority exists to preserve and protect these natural individual rights should limit itself to that purpose, okay? To actually protect people, not to actually have other gains. For example, leaders gain certain thing or to be rich and so forth. Okay, legitimate political authority must be based on the consent of the governed. People have the right to resist and overthrow all tyrannical governments not based on popular consent. Okay, then we have Rousseau. Okay, then we have Rousseau, 1700 nearly to 1800. He also bring up social contract. You need to remember these are the people who lives in a tyranny, who lives in monarchy environment. They are advanced from their time. Okay, whatever that they said for us is something that is not new, but at that particular moment they are the founder of what we are living, what we are enjoying now. All right, so that's why we need to understand that these whatever freedom that we have, all the rights that we have start from the ideas based on certain brilliant philosopher. Okay, we might not have what we have today if we do not have political philosophy. Yeah, so man is born free everywhere he is in change. So the thing is, yes, we are born free. You remember, this is also a person that indirectly discriminate women because they believe that women are supposed to be in change to men. But the thing is, it's not true. That's why we have feminism. It's okay. I will tell that in a next video. All right. So why we are free, but at the end of the day we are in change because we have a lot of wants, we have a lot of needs. So when we have wants and needs, we need to actually meet to other people's wants, to other people's needs. So we will have a contract, we will have certain agreement to actually get each other wants and needs. All right. So we can do so by submitting our individual particular wills to the collective and general will to create agreement with other free and equal person. Like all of you, you are free to choose KUPTM to study. But once you sign to be a student, you agree to be a student, then you are in change whereby you need to come to classes in order to actually show that you are ready, you are able to fulfill the agreement. Okay, just like me, okay, I am free to choose to work in KUPTM. Once I am in KUPTM, there are certain rules that I have to follow. So now we have Karl Marx. Okay, so what is Karl Marx? Next philosopher is Karl Marx, 1800 to nearly 1900. So he has a little bit of different ideas compared to Machiavelli, Hobbes, and Locke, all right, or even Rousseau. Okay, he he's trying to take one rights from human being, which is the right to own property, because for him the freedom to own property. All right, so this is a little bit different. That's why we have a new, other than democracy, we call it communism. So this is the founder of communism, whereby Karl Marx believed in when we take the right to own property, human being will be lesser greedy. All right, so he believed that all the property is supposed to belong for to the state, but he kind of like um, miss one part, whereby the state, usually there are leaders. Leaders of the state are human beings. So the probability for the communist leaders to actually become more corrupted and greedy is higher. So this is one of the reasons why communism is not doing well, because it actually gives too much power to a leader, too much power, too much too much wealth, and so forth, and it actually escalating what we call the bribery in communist country. So in the end, Marx envisions a society where proletariat or workers will eventually rise and take over the means of production or owners. He has a very good intention. His intention is to not letting the workers being bullied or discriminated by the capitalists. Okay, whatever that he said about capitalism, it is also true. We are going to learn that in the future topics on this matter. Okay, although we are in democracy, although we are in a capitalism system, but it doesn't mean it is 100% good. Whatever that Karl Marx said, there are truth about the critics against democracy and capitalism. He called this dictatorship of the owners or the proletariat, and yet after a transition period, the dictatorship it will be replaced by classless society. Again, whatever he said, he wants whatever that he wants to do is he has a very good intention, a very utopian kind of idea to have a classless society. But the thing is, we will learn in the ancient civilization, the modern civilization, we can see that you unable to avoid class-based society, because it's kind of like natural things that happen. And the thing is how to practically contain the discrimination. So here, he wants all the production are owned by all. Again, this is a good intention, a good idea, an idea with a good intention, but in certain situation, in most situation, it went wrong. So that's all for political philosophy. Hope you enjoy, and you can. I will give you reading material to read about these five political scholars in detail, especially about their background and their in-depth thoughts about their philosophy. So thank you. See you and bye.